Hey there, happy day 1018 of What You Up To Now. Sharon Horne-Ellstrom here, sharing my journey, my business journey, as I transition from the brick and mortar world, the corporate world, to the online world. I spent 47 years building different businesses, at least 27 different businesses and industries, as well as simultaneously spending 25 years plus as a corporate executive. So over a quarter century as a corporate executive and a whole lot more in different businesses and different industries. Today, and right now, I found in 2017 I had the opportunity as part of my divorce to divest myself of all my business interests. Well, kind of had to according to the courts, and do something different. Well, I'd always been interested in the internet, but I'd never really done much on it. I dabbled here and there. I'd followed certain people like Jim Edwards and people that I really liked and respected and learned things along the way. But I was so busy doing other things, raising my family, building different businesses offline, that I just never paid attention to the online world. Well, thankfully, in 2017, I did have the opportunity to pay attention to the online world. So when this whole COVID thing hit, I was already well ingrained and well entrenched in what I was doing. And it put me in a position to be able to help a whole lot of people because I'd already been there and done a lot of the things that they were jumping into doing because their jobs were gone. The economy changed. The economy changed because of a crazy pandemic, right? And there's no one to blame for a crazy pandemic, by the way. It's like anything else. A lot of things happen and we just have to deal with the event, right? A tsunami hits. I just watched a tsunami movie when I was posting the other day, and I was like, oh my God, you're on vacation, all of a sudden a tsunami hits and massive devastation, and a lot of bad things happen, but some good things came out of that as well, just like any other situation. So out of COVID came a lot of terrible stuff, but a lot of really awesome stuff as well, right? And many jobs lost, many jobs gained. A lot of change, a lot of moves, a lot of differences, absolutely. And so one of the things I decided to do early on in the COVID pandemic, and I'd already been doing challenges, was I decided to do a get up and go challenge. And I did one, I think was 10 days, and then I'm like, okay, 10 days is not enough in something as big as a pandemic. And it was just the first one. After that, they announced, and they being, politicians of all different sorts and types, but in my state of Wisconsin, that we were going to be shut down for the month of April. Now I'm hanging out with my then 4-year-old granddaughter, having a good time, and still doing my business stuff on the side, right, at home, which I'd been doing it at home anyway. So it's just a matter of changing my schedule around a bit. Now, when we heard that it was going to be for another month, I decided that I was going to do a month-long challenge, and I called it the Get Up and Go Challenge, because so often when a huge change comes along, we actually get paralyzed and frozen in our tracks. Well, maybe you don't, but I do. I tend to, when a massive, what I consider to be a bad or different thing happens, boom, shut down for a certain period of time. It depends on the event, how long I shut down for. I've actually shut down aspects of myself for a decade or more, which is sad. I hate to admit it, but it's true. We respond to different types of events in our lives differently. And so, Get Up and Go Challenge. I've done it I've done four 30-plus day challenges, and in the month of December, we're going to be doing the 5th and final Get Up and Go Challenge for 2020. Will I continue it next year? I don't know yet. I haven't decided. I won't know till probably December 30th or December 31st what I'm going to do with the Get Up and Go Challenge going forward. But for now, and for this year, I felt like it's one way that I can share things that I've learned that help me get through challenges. And I'm sure that there's lots of people that have faced way more harder challenges than I have in my life, but I've faced some really, really big challenges in my life that most people don't even know about. Massive health challenges. I actually had a sudden cardiac arrest in 2010 and died, yet I'm still here blabbing and yapping because I think that lesson, among all the other business lessons and life lessons I've learned, are valuable enough to share with other people. Number one, so you don't have to make all the stupid mistakes that I've made in my life. But number two, so you can learn from and springboard off of the things that I've spent my time learning, and you don't have to go through and learn all that stuff. You can just say, okay, well, I'm going to start here at this level instead of at the very beginning figuring everything out myself. You can learn this much by watching a couple of videos and skipping all this struggle and trial. How much time does that save you? It can save you decades of trial and error by finding people who are willing to share their information. So Get Up and Go Challenge, December 1st through 31st. But in the interim, I didn't want to do nothing. So I decided instead of No Shave November, I was going to do No Nonsense November. And it's kind of turned out to be a really good topic of choice because of all the nonsense that's going on in our country and in our world right now, right? I wanted to post today, yet I stopped myself. What do you think about the media in America? I just wanted to post that, and I thought, okay, that's just going to get all kinds of trouble started. And I don't really care. I just find, as a formerly trained journalist, I find what's passing for media and news in this country is beyond pathetic. It's beyond pathetic. It's like the olden days of the, German brainwashing thing. We've got this narrative and this scenario, and whatever we do, we're going to do the opposite of what they say, and we're going to just put out whatever we want, because that's what media in America is doing right now. They're putting out whatever they want, and it's ludicrous, and they're trying to plan the lives of all of us. And I think Americans, free speech, we say no. We want to hear it all. We want actually the facts. Just the facts, ma'am. Not your opinion, not your narrative. The facts. The who, what, the where, the when, the why, the how. That's all we want to know from the media. And I think that if you want to have an editorial channel, make it clear that you are opinioning and sharing your opinions and pontificating and sharing editorial comments and your reaction to stuff, not calling it in any way, shape, or form news. Okay, I'm on my soapbox. Climbing down now, climbing down. So anyway, today in the No Nonsense November daily share, I'm sharing a tool of the day. I'm sharing the tools that have helped me the most in life. And today was one that's kind of a culmination and a combination of other things that I came up with that I call the life cycle wheel. And it's how everything about us, everything we experience, interacts and changes our actions and our beliefs and our thoughts. And that, wherever you start on the wheel, you go round and round it, and you breeze through. Sometimes you breeze through these things, other times you get stuck on a spoke of the wheel. Sometimes there's an experience that happens, and that's where you get stuck. You get stuck and frozen in your tracks because of shock and awe. You're just frozen in that place because of something you witnessed or experienced. I would think trauma is an example of that, where often our senses get overridden or locked in, and then our emotions, so how we feel, our emotions, our thoughts, our beliefs, our values determine what action we'll take, and then the action we take, all of that determines the results, and the results leads to different experiences or opportunities. I should probably add opportunities on here. I'm creating this tool as we speak. I actually came up with it for the No Nonsense November, and I'm like, okay, I'm gonna keep working on this. I'm gonna make a nice clean graphic and share that. So, sometimes tools are things that we've used for years or decades. Sometimes they're things that we've taken pieces of other things that we've learned, and we put them together to form our own tool. And that's kind of what this life cycle tool is. It's not the Lion King circle of life. It's the life cycle, and it's more of like a wheel on the life cycle with all the spokes interconnecting everything to who we are, the big version of ourselves as a being. I know, little woo-woo. We got soapbox, we got woo-woo. I'm just on a roll today. Fun challenge today. Yesterday we drew a comic strip. We drew 4 squares of a comic strip. We just drew the pictures. Now today we're going to add the headlines and the titles. And I'm going to be brave enough to actually, despite my lack of drawing ability, I'll put some captions on it, I'll take a snapshot, and I'll share it in the comments below the fun challenge. Our idiom today for Supersize Your Business was on the horns of a dilemma, having to choose between undesirable or really difficult choices and alternatives. And so we had to talk about that, and then how you can actually use this to grow and build your business, because you absolutely can. And there's things kind of like the life cycle that if you remember to pull those things in, any dilemma is different than what you might have anticipated or expected. So working on that book, I'm not 100% letting myself off the hook for Friday, but I am thinking what I may do is transcribe the recordings of the December Get Up and Go Challenge, because I like to think that the 5th one will be better than the 1st, the 2nd, the 3rd, and the 4th, and it will be the culmination of all of the things that I've learned going through the challenge 5 times and leading people through the challenge 5 times in that one. So instead of hurrying up or going back and transcribing previous documents, there's all different ways you can write a book, right? I want to create it live with you, with people in December, and I will create it and I'll have it transcribed, written, and then edited by someone else other than me, obviously. I'm finding that it's really a challenge for me to sit down and try to actually write a book. I don't know, some people know, some people don't, but I am actually legally blind, so everything I try to do, everything I try to type, I actually put it up on my 62-inch screen TV, and fortunately I've done a lot of typing and a lot of statistics and a lot of numbers for decades, so it's kind of like putting on my makeup. I can do it without seeing my face, which is amazing to my daughter. You know, at some point, I'm going to have someone else do my hair and my face and my makeup and things, but for right now, as long as I can do it, I'm going to continue to do everything I can do for myself, because I'm like super stubborn and independent. So if you come and you see me one day and I've got like eyeliner that goes like this, you can comment on it. I'm cool with that, because I know, because that will give me the indication that, maybe it's time to let somebody else help you with your face. But it's the same thing with the putting the book together. I've wanted to do this book since the beginning of COVID. Started it, put a bunch of stuff into the computer, and realized I have no idea what I put in there. And yeah, I can put it up on the 62-inch screen TV, but I don't want to edit my own stuff. I am not an editor, although I was an editor, used to be an editor. I don't want to be one now. So I'm going to have to get help with that. But as I've been working on it and thinking about it this week, more and more I'm led to believe that the best way for me to produce that and produce the best possible product for you and for the people that read it is to create it with you. I've seen that time and time again. I've experienced it time and time again doing different workshops and things. It's always more fun to create it. And believe me, that was one of the mistakes I made. Didn't create my first product, my first course, my first webinars with other people. I did it all on my own, out of my own little head. And guess what? Nobody cared about what was in my own little head. That was, one of the biggest first lessons I learned was that you have to create your things for a group of people and with that group of people, or at least with a couple of people that are in the group of people you want to serve, or you're spinning your wheels and you're going to go around that life cycle wheel over and over and over again until you get it right. Unless you quit, of course, and then you lose, right? The only way we lose is if we quit and we stop moving toward what it is that we want. All right, that's all I've got for you today. Go out, make an awesome day. Any questions? Hit me up in the comments below. Might not have the answer, but probably know somebody that does, or that I can introduce you to, or give you an idea or a strategy to help you move forward with whatever it is that the horns of your dilemma. If you're in a dilemma, ask, because sometimes we just need somebody, a third party that isn't intimately involved in the situation to help us say, oh, I can't tell you how many times, this is really funny. I can't tell you how many times I've had myself in a little mental twisted tizzy about something, some situation, and one of my kids or one of my sisters or even the ex or my dad or my mom would come along and they'd say, oh, try this. And they would have the exact right next step or solution of what I needed to do. And then everything fell right into place. But here I was spending time running in this little no motion treadmill, what's that, hamster wheel circle, and not getting anywhere. So often we do that, but I want to be a resource that if you just need to bounce an idea or have a problem that you're struggling with, just ask and let's get you moving forward. Let's not have anyone ever feel like they're stuck and all alone. Sometimes I've never found business ownership and entrepreneurship lonely, but apparently a lot of people do. So I want to make sure that you don't ever feel that way. All right, have an awesome day, and I will, of course, be with you tomorrow.